Mobile County Sheriff's deputies re-arrested Michael Crocker, this time for murder.
Crocker was already in Metro Jail for tax evasion when he was indicted for murder in the murder of Stephen Parrott, which actually happened 4 years ago. Fox 10 News reporter Paige Malone brings you the details about this. Paige.
Well, Bob, you can see by Crocker's facial expression that he was pretty calm going into Metro Jail. He says he's not responsible for the murder of Stephen Parrott. But for the last 4 years, the sheriff's office has been building a case against him and finally got what it needed for an indictment. Well, while investigators were working, the Parrott family says it hasn't been easy. But like the sheriff's office, they want more than an arrest. They want a conviction.
We're saying more.
Escorted by deputies, Michael Crocker made his way back to Metro Jail. The deputies say he's responsible for the murder of Stephen Parrott. The victim's father, also named Stephen, says Crocker was not only his son's employer and neighbor, he was one of his best friends.
It's just impossible. It seemed like it was impossible at the time. You just can't believe it.
But the sheriff's office says Crocker has been its prime suspect since the beginning, even though Crocker did his best to play the victim. Deputies say Crocker cut out a portion of his tongue and made a false report about what happened that day back in 2007.
That certainly heightened our suspicions, and we, without commenting on the evidence, it proved his untruthfulness and just kind of put him one step closer.
But suspicion is not enough. It took deputies 4 years to finally get a warrant for Crocker's arrest.
They just tell you, be patient, be patient. And it's hard being patient.
You just have to work, you have to keep an open mind, but work with that in mind and just keep pushing forward till you develop the information that you need.
When the time came, deputies didn't have to go far to find Crocker. In May, Crocker and his wife were arrested for tax evasion in Texas and extradited to Mobile. While his wife bonded out, Crocker has been in jail for the past 7 months. The deputies say after 4 years on the case, now they have enough to keep him behind bars. Now, Crocker is scheduled for a court hearing on Thursday. The Parrott family says they'll be there and at every other court date until they can finally